I'm visiting a hotel that was originally the town hall for Bethnal Green.
Richard, this is a very, very unique hotel. What can you tell me about the history of the building?
So the building was a town hall for the local area until about 20 years ago. It's actually two parts. The first part was actually built in 1910, so that was kind of the Edwardian times, and then the second part was built in 1939, which is more of an Art Deco kind of style. As you walk from one end to the building, the style of architecture kind of changes. Once it stopped being used as a town hall, it started being used as a film location. So we have some movies like Atonement, Lock, Stock, Snatch were filmed here before we kind of got our hands on it, and then within 2 years we kind of converted it, renovated it, and then opened it up as a town hall hotel this time. I guess it kind of evokes its past while still living in current times.
It seems to be different from any other hotel I've been into.
So we tried to kind of avoid being that hipster hotel. We want to be true to the area. We tried to be a little bit more personal, a bit more of a boutique sort of space. We kind of wanted to link in and root ourselves with the neighborhood properly, so we commissioned a group of local artists to work on pieces specific to the building. We work with local designers and craftsmen to try and bring a product that's essentially true to both the history and the future of East London.
So Richard, this room we're sitting in looks very grand.
Right now we're in the De Montfort Suite, which is named after Lord de Montfort. It doubles up as an apartment and an event space. The De Montfort Suite also happens to be London's largest bedroom suite.
And what was it in its previous life?
So it was initially a council chamber in the first part of the building. We kind of renovated the space and realised we needed a larger apartment for our guests. When we restored the building, we tried to restore it as sympathetically as possible. So we've kept as many features as we possibly could. We have all the original panelling, all the sculptures across the wall and ceiling by Henry Poole. And then, as you can see, the space is actually split over 2 floors, so it's actually a mezzanine room.
I presume the rest of the hotel has been sympathetically restored in keeping with this room.
As you walk through the hotel, you kind of get all the original features. We have original doors, safes, and everything I guess a town hall back in the day would have had. I love the lobby. It's probably one of my favourite spaces. You have all the original marbling, the marble floors, the columns, and then you have the grand staircase that kind of leads up to one of the artworks by a local artist too. We have 3 event spaces. We have this one, which is De Montfort Suite. Then we also have the council chamber, which is an original council chamber but doubles up as a space for sit-down dinners, meetings, screening room. And then we also have the Bethnal Hall, which is made up of 4 interconnecting rooms. Basically, you have the event, we have the space. We're pretty flexible. We have 2 different restaurants in the building. We have the Typing Room, which is a British seasonal menu-focused restaurant by Chef Lee Westcott. It's kind of sit-down, 5-7 courses. We also have an a la carte option at lunch. And then the second restaurant is kind of the little sister restaurant. It's called the Corner Room. It's used as the breakfast room, also lunch and dinner, with more of a bistro-focused menu. We also have the bar, which is essentially a forward-thinking cocktail list by Matt Wiley, whose bar name is Talented Mr. Fox. And he kind of comes up with creative concoctions, which you wouldn't normally find in another bar. We also have a state-of-the-art pool and gym, which is exclusive to guests. What's unusual about the pool is that it seems to have a bit of an optical illusion. When you walk from one end to the other, it seems one side is deeper, but it's actually the same depth throughout.
And was the optical illusion an intentional design?
It was. It's just a little quirky addition to the design of the pool.
Wandering around the building, I noticed a dog in the lobby.
The hotel dog, we've only had her for about 1.5 years. Her name's Dizzy, and she's actually a rescue greyhound. She's allowed to roam the hotel freely. Hotel guests can kind of meet her, and she's super friendly. We're one stop from Liverpool Street. We're on the Central Line and about 10-15 minutes from Oxford Street. So although east, it is still pretty central. And then in this area, there's tons of little restaurants and galleries, and it's essentially a hub for people that work within the creative industry. So it's definitely one worth visiting.